So how do you repair after a huge blow up with your spouse? You and your wife, your spouse, your partner got into a heated conversation, a really heated conflict. And so today I want to talk about a proven strategy in how to repair and reconnect with your spouse, your partner, after a big argument. And if you listen to any couples therapist or a couples coach, they teach these main components. And at the time of this recording, my wife Julie and I have been married for 19 years. And this simple strategy has helped me. And I've also taught this to many others as well, who's of couples when I was a pastor for 20 years and now being a marriage and family therapist, pre-licensed marriage and family therapist, and coaching a lot of couples. What to do through those heated moments when you have argued and you had this time of timeout, right? What do you do between the two of you when these heated moments happen? And if you stick to the very end, I'll give you an extra bonus to help that conversation be strengthening, that leads to a communication between you and your partner that communicates heart to heart. All right, so here we go. So the first thing we need to understand is that when this conflict, this argument happens between you and your wife, the first thing you need to do is you gotta relax. Actually, it's an alliteration of 4 R's. You need to first relax. They say that your physiological state of mind, your heart, your body is when you're at this heated, what they call flooded part, and Dr. Gottman calls it flooded. Your heart rate is, your beats per minute is over 100, 120 beats per minute. You can't think straight. You either go tunnel vision because you're either in flight, fight, or flee mode. And this is where you need to take a timeout, where you relax, you de-escalate, and your body needs at least 20 minutes to calm down, to slow down. So the first thing you need to do is to relax and just begin to take deep breaths, slow things down, and we're going to talk about more about what to do. In fact, if you check out this video, we're going to talk about how to slow things down. What do you do during your timeout, right? This video talks about how to think through things in your timeout situations when you are away and apart from each other for that moment of time with the intention of returning to repair. Now, when you take that time out, that 20, 30 minutes, or however long it takes you to calm down, at least 20 minutes, and you come back, how do you reinitiate that conversation? Because it just came from a heightened state, a flooded, escalated state. Now, 20, 30 minutes later or so, you guys are more calmed down. How do you repair? Well, after you relax, you had that moment at 20, 30 minutes at least of relaxing and de-escalating. The second thing that needs to happen is to repair. And so here's the repair statement that I would recommend or suggest you do. Here it is. It's 3 parts. It's easy. Here it is. It's saying this: I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Let's try that again. You see, what that does is it resets the temperature. You begin to do, like I call it, you're a thermostat. You turn the thermostat where the heat of the conversation comes down. You calm the situation down. The temperature in the environment of the relationship begins to calm down when you say things such as, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Let's do that again. Let's try that again. That 3 simple statements help to de-escalate and even disarm this conflict from kicking back up again. You're more de-escalated, you're breathing, your heart rate, and you're able to see eye to eye and begin to be able to repair this bridge to go heart to heart. Relax, repair. This third one, after you relax and then you make those repair statements, this third one is very important, which causes part of that thermostat analogy that I just used about having to de-escalate and bring the temperature, the heated conflict temperature down in the relationship. Is number 3 is where responsibility is taken. Responsibility is taken. This, again, disarms a conflict. But also, when I say responsibility is taken, is you identifying the part you played, the responsibility you're taking for your part that contributed to this heated conflict between you and your spouse. What did you do? What did you say that caused this conversation, this heated argument, this conflict, this fight to get all spun up, right? And maybe it was your volume that went up. Maybe you started cussing at her. Maybe you started blaming her. Maybe you started bringing back the past history of, well, remember when you did this? Because that never really helps. When you are in an argument and you fight, you bring up the past stuff and it doesn't really help. So avoid blaming. I would encourage you, when you take responsibility, as part, the third part of this is you use I statements, not you statements. I'm at fault in my part because I was cussing at you. I'm sorry because I was blaming you, but I was just feeling unheard. I was feeling hopeless. I was feeling ashamed. Whatever it is, keep it to I. The moment we start saying you, because you, that's why, because you did this and you did that. Remember when you, and we start doing that kind of the conversation, you start blaming her. When you start blaming her, name calling her, character assassination her, and you start you, then what you do is just, again, you kick up the conflict again, and here we go, another negative cycle about to be ensued, right? And so it's important for this portion of the responsibility, keep it to yourself. And the last one, here it is, here's the bonus, this is very important, is to realize. And what I mean by this is that realize what she is saying. Understanding that this is crucial to closing the loop and helping her understand that, babe, I get it. I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. And this is where you could ask questions for clarification to help you understand what she was going through, what she was experiencing, what she was thinking, right? So having to practice active listening. In fact, I have a video on that, active listening, where you're able to hear her heart. You're really able to hear her intention and what she's trying to communicate and why she was triggered and why she came at you the way she did, right? Saying something to the effect of, can you help me understand what you're trying to say? Asking that question, help me understand what you're trying to say. Help me understand what you're trying to do there, okay? And so again, relax. Second thing is to repair. The third thing is where responsibility is taken. The fourth one is to realize. That's my bonus point, realize. And to seek to realize is a very crucial thing. If you don't get that point, that's a very important component to this whole process of repairing and connecting from heart to heart. All right, the strategy of having to repair after relationship. This fourth one, I go into deeper waters with this because it's very important to understand. And so if you want to know more about how to understand and how to realize what she's saying, watch this video and I'll meet you there to discuss how to connect heart to heart through realization. All right, check this out. I'll see you there.